this self that you're believing you are, that you're perceiving that you are, that goes by the name of, in my example, flow. And flow thinks this and does this and believes that. And this is all the concepts that make up flow. That's the thing that you want to question. You want to question everything. Every single thing you believe or say or do. Every judgment you have about somebody else. Every single thing you can possibly think, perceive, believe, you need to question. Because flow, or insert your name, is purely just a collection of thoughts, sensations, beliefs. If you're watching my videos, you probably know at this point that you're not your body. But the next bit is to know that you're not yourself. You're not this self that is flow. So taking the body out of the question, or the inquiry in this case, the next thing to do is just to really question everything. When you feel yourself get cold, question it. Is it really true that I'm cold? When you perceive someone to be suffering, question that. Is it really true that they're suffering? Because as you continue to question everything, you are continuously sort of interrogating and undermining this concept and belief that is the self, this flow identity, because flow is just a collection of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and the more you question it and look for the trigger of it, or like the person, the source of it, the more you'll break the framework of this concept of separate self. And it's just been a really revolutionary practice that I've been doing. And as you go on this journey and you find more pockets of peace by being in the present moment, in order to remain there throughout every second, to keep being present, having this practice of just questioning things that come up for you is just such a brilliant way of returning back to the now moment and to undermining this big construction of self that you are probably living in. And it's also brilliant because for me personally, I hadn't realized how everything was just such a belief and a concept. Like, for example, I had a belief that I didn't deserve anything, or like nothing that I wanted I got. And I really sat with that one for a while, and just kept being like, is it true that I'm not deserving? And I sat with it and allowed some answer or something to come from it. So it might be like, it's not true that I'm not deserving of anything, but it is true that life is hard. Okay, is it true that life is hard? And eventually, after seeing through the thoughts, the feelings, I had this real shift in understanding, and this sort of concept, or I don't know, concept maybe is not the right word, but this sort of like, why have I believed that this collection of cells is any less deserving than somebody else's collection of cells, or those collection of cells? It's not true. Like, none of it's true. This collection of cells is equally as deserving as any other collection of cells. That's all this is right now. It's just a collection of cells which I have decided is called flow, and flow has all of these things, and flow has to be a certain way in order for flow to be flow. But that is all just a concept, a belief, and that is something to question. Just question it. Like today, even in the car, I had been out all morning and I was driving, and all of a sudden I felt really hungry. And in this knowingness, I inquired into that hunger. I was like, who is it that's hungry? Like, is it true that I'm hungry? It's just a sensation. It's actually not true that I'm hungry. It's just a sensation. It's a belief. It's a belief that I get this feeling in my stomach and that means I'm hungry and therefore I need to like eat some food. Whereas once you see through that and you break that down and you let it go, you lose the attachment to food, and then you eat really on sort of an autopilot where you feel like having this one moment and then you might not eat for a day, or you'll eat 5 meals in a day. It will just become effortless in that way because there's no flow that's getting in the middle of it all. To like describe it in a way is, if you imagine like you have the body. I wonder if I have a piece of paper. To describe it in a way is like you have the body, you have self, flow, identity, and then you have everything, right? And this body is part of the everything, but because of this belief in a flow and this concept of flow, we can't let that go for this to become part of the everything. We're keeping this sort of separate state where there's everything, but and then this concept of flow. And the questioning is like breaking down this concept, which is literally just like a piece of paper like this. It's super thin, it's transparent in many ways, it's not actually there. And so by questioning this and the validity of this, you slowly let it disintegrate until it goes away, and then the body becomes part of the everything again, because there is no subject-object perspective, there's no concept of time, there's no separateness. So if you want to speed things up maybe, or you're tired of the suffering, aren't you just tired of the suffering? I definitely am at times. Start to question everything. Is it true? Start to see that everything is just a belief and a concept, and it's not the truth. It's a thin piece of paper that's blocking your body from being in the everything. The everything is here, it's all surrounding, but you've just created this concept that you exist and you have these beliefs and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that helps. If you want, please do drop some comments, questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. But other than that, have a lovely, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.